Judy, Janine, Mimi. I rather doubt that I can speak for anyone but me, but perhaps others in the dance community who danced for Stanley Holden, took his classes regularly, or perhaps just once, met him socially or knew him for decades. Perhaps someone out there will find something familiar in my meager words about this man whom I came to love and admire and respect, and whose friendship I cherished, and whom I miss terribly. I knew him a mere 8 years, in a lifetime that spanned nearly 80 years. That's a blink of an eye, yet I'm grateful for that brief time. There wasn't a single occasion when we spoke face-to-face or over the phone that he didn't make me laugh or share something about himself from his past. Stanley was always giving me something, even when I didn't realize it. That's the mark of a natural teacher. His first gift came in 1998, the day I met him at Conjunctive Points. I was just undertaking the task of producing the first LA Dance Invitational, and someone more experienced than I in the dance community suggested that I get a piece of choreography from Stanley Holden. Stanley who? I'd never heard of him. Such was the state of my ignorance. I'm usually rather fearless, so making a trek to Conjunctive Points was nothing special. I hovered outside his classroom, which was packed with dancers, and the experience left me a bit, well, nervous. I'd never met a ballet legend before. Yeah, I'd done a bit of homework, so I kind of knew who he was, at least by that point. I expected to be intimidated. I expected when I was allowed into his presence, I'd be treated brusquely, made to rush. Come, come, what is it? I'm a busy man. Boy, was I wrong. He insisted I call him Stanley almost before I got the words Mr. Holden out of my mouth. Then he really impressed me. When I asked him if he'd agree to choreograph a short piece of ballet for a brand new showcase that was to benefit at-risk youth, he said yes, without a moment's hesitation. He didn't know me from John Q. Public, but he said yes. That was in December 1998. Our first concert was 4 months later, and it was severely panned in the LA Times. I often wonder whether Stanley had second thoughts about agreeing to such a risky venture. But you know, I never asked him about it. I never asked him why he chose me or my concert, and he never volunteered an explanation or a reason. But he continued his affiliation with us every year after being part of that inaugural event, first as an invitee. The second year, he agreed to serve on the adjudication jury. And did he ever make his presence felt? The chemistry and the electricity in the room were palpable. Between Jamie Nichols, Richard Culler, Ramon Del Barrio, the director, our first director for the first 5 years, and me playing referee, well, we should have had a videotape of that gathering. We argued, we discussed, we listened, we watched submissions from all over LA, and we bonded. Again in the third year and every year since, Stanley took part in the annual viewing of the submission tapes. And I know he was very much looking forward to having been part of the jury again this year. In 2001, his third year as an adjudicator, we surprised him by not only giving him LADI's first Distinguished Teaching Award, as is now common knowledge in the community, we named the award in his honor. Today, the Stanley Holden Award for Distinguished Teaching is an established institution, and I believe a coveted award. Stanley was always very proud of this honor and pointed to the heavy jade cut glass statue on his bookcase whenever I visited him and his wife, Judy. He was equally uneasy whenever I pressed him for his advice on whom we should select for the annual Holden Award. He never wanted anyone to think we were picking his favorites, and rarely gave me a direct answer. That was Stanley. Always quick with a joke, but very serious on matters that touched him deeply. Today, as we are enjoying the 8th annual LA Dance Invitational, a tribute to Stanley Holden, this little dance party has metamorphosed into a concert of very high quality and esteem in the dance community, an achievement beyond my wildest dreams. And I owe Stanley a debt of gratitude. His continuing gift to me, to his friends Richard and Jamie, who have been the heart and soul of LADI from the beginning, and to everyone associated with LADI, is the credibility and stature that only a Stanley Holden could bring to an event like ours. I hope we can continue to live up to that approval, Stanley. We could not have done it without you. It is a gift I will never forget.